Hello guys, welcome back to my lyrical analysis show, and we are still going through What's the Story Morning Glory, and yeah, this is a big one today, so Wonderwall. Now, before I get into this, there have been a million interpretations of this song. Noel Gallagher himself has given multiple interpretations to this song, so I'm gonna kind of be going through different possibilities as I read these lyrics. I'm not going to really give a distinct, definitive answer to what this song is about, because there isn't a definitive answer. I think, what it is, and dude, I'm really excited to do Champagne Supernova, by the way. But anyway, I think this album just kind of has, this song in general, very abstract vibe to it. It can kind of mean whatever you want it to mean, which is something I really appreciate about this song. Now, I know that people like to give this flack for like, oh, it's the only Oasis song people know, yeah, you're like, whatever, it's a meme or whatever, and I totally understand that, but it's still an absolutely fantastic song if you ask me. It depends on what you like. I know people don't like this song or whatever, but yeah, still a fantastic song. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So this is a big one to debunk. I'm going to give this its own episode as well as Don't Look Back in Anger. I will also give that its own episode because that song has a lot going for it as well. So, going in here, we have today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. So, clearly we're talking about a person or entity of some sort. Now, whether it's like an internal thing or if it's like a real person or a crush or whatever, doesn't really matter right now. We're just kind of talking about a person in general. It's in the second person. Yeah, so, you got that, and I think it's really interesting. You should have somehow realized what you gotta do. So, I have seen interpretations of this song where it's like about a crush, or it's like you're talking to yourself, like, hey, you need to go talk to the girl, like, hey. like, you need to realize, it's like almost like you're shy and awkward, and you're like trying to talk to the girl, and like trying to realize, like, hey, hey, Lila. Okay, no. But, that's almost kind of the vibe that this gives me. So very interesting lyrical stuff straight off the bat. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. It's a pretty general statement. If it's a crush, if I'm so in love with this person or whatever. I also kind of see this a little bit, and my dad kind of interprets this way. This is not any official, Noel Gallagher's never said anything about this, but I can totally see this as well. It's sort of a, almost like fan letter, like someone who is washed up or whatever, and, a very interesting, look at that as well. So, again, even if it's like an internal thing, for me, sometimes it's more of an internal thing, who you're talking to, you're almost talking to yourself, and he has also said it can be an imaginary friend. So there are so many interpretations for this song. So just in that first verse, there's so much to unpack. And then, okay, backbeat, the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. So again, I'm pretty sure that the fact that it says backbeat, the word was on the street is pretty, there for the rhyme scheme. I don't think that it's really all that significant. So the word is on the street that the fire in your heart is out, though. So again, this really also ties into the fan letter thing. It's like, oh, that guy's all washed up. Everybody's like, oh, whatever. Or it could be like, wow, something just got in my eye. Or if it's with a girl, again, it's kind of like, she's like sad or whatever, or she's scared to love again because she's been brokenhearted. So that's another interpretation for that. I'm sure you've heard it all before, but you never really had a doubt. Again, people talk trash on the street. Again, we're just on the street. People talk trash. People say all sorts of things. You never really had a doubt. And then, I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. So just, that's a refrain here. It's a, I care so much about you. Whoever you are, whoever unnamed person is, which, okay, yes. If this technique, which is like generalizing or like, oh, it's about you. Like using an unnamed person, if this technique is used badly, like in a lot of One Direction songs, like vague, like you've got that one thing, like it's so vague, like teenage female fans, let's support them. No, but to me this song is it's about somebody specific, someone or something specific, but he's not specifying who that is. It's poetic enough that it's, you can interpret it, you can apply it to your own life, and you can apply it to yourself, but it's not strictly vague in a way that's, like, creepy. It's not trying to, like, get you all to, like, whatever. It's just kind of there as a thing, and it's specific enough, there's enough, like, details here that you can kind of get a vibe from it. So here we go to, like, the pre-chorus. And all the roads we have to walk are winding, and all the lights that lead us there are blinding. There are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. So all the roads we have to walk are winding, all the lights that lead us there are blinding. So again, with winding roads, it's very much of a vibe. It's been a theme in songs for years, of course. Long and Winding Road by the Beatles, that's the first song that always comes to mind for me. And that's a very sad song. That was one of the last songs they released before they broke up. And no, I'm not wearing this Beatles shirt has nothing to do with that. It's literally the only shirt I have. Okay, but yeah, so the Long and Winding Road, get that kind of vibe of all the roads are winding. We don't really know where we're going. It's very, like, don't know, it's only me and I walk alone. I'm sorry, I had to make one joke, but it actually kind of applies here. Talking about Boulevard of Broken Dreams actually kind of applies here. Maybe it wasn't just a chord progression that they took from this song. Maybe they were actually inspired by some of the lyrical themes of it as well. I never really thought about that, but going back to this song here, all the lights to lead us there are blinding, so it's like, hey, so kind of like we're going somewhere, but we can't see, like, same theme as the Winding Roads, like, we're going somewhere, but we don't know where we're going, don't know where it goes, like, that same kind of vibe there, and then, again, and then there are many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how, which is a really relatable, thing. It doesn't matter who you're talking to. Even if you're talking to yourself, it's a very relatable, like, yo, listen up. But you don't know what to say, and especially if you're talking to someone, if it's like a fan letter, if it's like someone you look up to, again, you don't even know how to thank them. You don't have the words to, like, thank them for how they've helped you, or if it's a girl or if it's a crush you're awkward about, then it's like, oh, I want to tell you I love you, but I don't know how. So it's a very relatable thing there. So going into the actual chorus, that's like the pre-chorus there, because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me, and after all, you're my wonderwall. So it's only 2 lines, okay? So we all know this chorus. So we all know the memes, you know, I told you to stop singing Wonderwall. I said maybe, like, you all know the memes. But, so this is, maybe you're going to be the one that saves me. Again, so many interpretations for what this could be. I'm getting chills just talking about this. I love this song so much. Yeah, I would definitely love to do, like, a lyrical analysis of, like, the Beatles sometime, or, like, Sgt. Pepper's, like, the White Album, because I love, yeah, but, going, back to this, again, because maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me, again, if it's, like, a girlfriend, if it's, like, someone you're in love with, if whatever, or if it's romantic, again, that's, like, romantic, or if it's, like, someone you look up to, or, like, again, you're like, oh, maybe, like, and I've actually heard people say that music has saved them, or, like, that even Oasis has saved them, or, like, Liam Gallagher, like, I know a girl on Twitter who has talked about, how important Liam Gallagher is to her, and I can totally see that, like, with celebrities, even celebrities who are no longer living, like, John Lennon has meant so much to me over the years, and, yeah, just a very, interesting, with certain figures, the way we look up to him, and, of course, getting saved from, like, yourself, almost like an imaginary, again, that's kind of vibe there. So very interesting thought. And after all, You're my wonderwall. So we won't ever quite know what a wonderwall is. Of course, if we're going with the original context of it from George Harrison, that is like the separating reality and like imagination, which is an interesting vibe as well. But going back to the context of this, You're My Wonderwall, it's almost like the vibe I get from this song. So again, it's the person you're always thinking about. That's what Noel Gallagher said. It's the person you're always thinking about. So it could be like a crush. Again, it could be someone you look up to. It could be both. Or again, if you're talking to yourself, it's kind of like it's almost like you have like two sides, like you're like two sides of yourself, or like different vibes going on there. Very interesting song to decode, in my opinion. So again, You're My Wonderwall, just such a interesting, nonsensical phrase almost. I almost take it to mean what it means to me is kind of more of a, you're always there for me. Like, if I need someone to talk to, you're, like, there for me. Like, a wall is always, like, literal wall is always there. It doesn't move. It doesn't go anywhere. Like, you can just, like, sit there and it's not gonna care. Like, it's not gonna be mad if you're mad. Like, so honestly, a person to me who's a wonderwall is, like, always going to be there for you. That's the kind of vibe I get from it. But that's not necessarily, again, that's just my personal, like, interpretation of how I feel that. So, yeah, definitely a fantastic, fantastic song. And then we just have, today was going to be the day that they'll never throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you're not to do. So it's like, hey, again, if you're, like, talking to yourself with, like, a crush, it's like, hey, you messed up, whoops, I was gonna talk to the girl today, and same thing with, like, again, going back to the, like, famous person or model, it's like, you're messing up, like, they don't like you anymore, and, like, you messed up, and, same thing with, it's getting the vibe of, like, whatever it's going on, you messed up, like, you screwed up. So, very interesting here, and pretty much everything else, I think, in this song repeats. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. Yeah. All the roads that lead you there. It's a little bit different here. All the roads that lead you there are winding. All the lights that light the way are blinding. So, yeah, pretty much similar thing as before. That leads you there. Again, we don't really know where the roads are leading us. Again, all the way to lights to light the way are blinding. So it's almost like it lights the way, but it's blinding, so you can't actually see. So very interesting. Very interesting. Again, very many things that I would like to say to you, but I don't know how. And then I said maybe you're gonna be the one that saves me. After all, You're My Wonderwall. So yeah, very, very interesting song to debunk. Again, I think it means something different to everyone. I can definitely see it being romantic. I can see it being all sorts of other types of songs. I definitely get this song. So yeah, sorry. If you liked the video, click like. Next up will be Don't Look Back in Anger. I hope you enjoyed this video. So yeah, thanks so much for watching.